you're sure in a hurt. You think you can treat me like dirt and then get away with it, honey. Well, you got another thing coming now.
I know y'all been waiting for this all week. The video show is back. And we got a part 2 because we couldn't talk about this subject in 30 minutes, all right? So I got more single ladies to let you get a walk in their shoes in what it's like to be a single mother. Ladies, I want you to introduce yourself and let people know who you are.
Sure thing. My name is Erica Bonner. I'm the mother of 2. I'm a former paralegal for a criminal defense firm, but right now I'm the owner and founder of Swag Unlimited, which is a full-service coordinating and consulting firm.
My name is Tammy Tyler, and I'm currently working for an investment company. I have 5 children that I'm very proud of, so that's the most important.
Awesome.
My name is Shalithia Urquhart. I have 2 children. I'm currently a plumbing specialist.
I asked a lot of questions on the first part of this episode. Now in part 2, we're gonna get a little bit more in depth. But the first thing I have to ask is, what's it like to be a single mother? And you know, what do you go through? Like, what's your how do you feel about it? What's being a single mother to you?
Oh, I can say that it has its different moments.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rewarding and can be challenging as well. I have days where, you know, I'm pulling my hair out and I'm screaming, and you know, I have days that I couldn't imagine it any other way.
Right.
I couldn't imagine it being anything different than what it is. I love my children. I wouldn't change who they are or anything. So finding a balance sometimes is challenging, but you know, I love it. I love my children, and I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm sure most single mothers are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a nutshell, I would definitely say that being a single mother is a rewarding challenge just overall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much is a job like no other. It's the hardest job on the planet, but it is also the most rewarding job on the planet. To see the pretty much the finished product, so to speak, when they grow up into men, to see what you've done as a mother.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said in the last episode, as a man, I just couldn't, knowing how important it is to bring a life into this world, and that is a part of you, I would want to see to it that was well taken care of. So I commend you all for doing it all on your own, and I can understand how hard it can be. You know, it's a lot of things you got to deal with. You got to deal with your kids. You got to deal with work. You got to deal with yourself. You got to deal with things happening in the household, things happening. You know, you've got a lot to handle, and not to mention if you have dreams and things that you want to do outside of it all. You're building something. So my question to you is, how do you find balance? How do you find balance? You, kids, work, just having it all and have time for yourself.
That's a very good question. That's a good question, and you're right. Is there finding balance? Finding balance sometimes can be challenging. A lot of times, I find for myself, a lot of it is work and the children. Work and the children, and I have to fit it in where I can have time for me. You know, I from time to time have to make sure that happens. But you know, my first priority is my children. I have to get to work to maintain, you know, the household and to make sure they have what they need and they want, and I need to come home and make sure everything is, you know, settled. And by the time they get settled, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, you wore out by now.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as balance, I would say my kryptonite of balance is, you know, fatigue.
Yeah.
And when you are a real mom, your job, it don't stop. Especially if you're trying to have a career.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard because you have to sacrifice, okay, do I go and bring home the chicken, you know, bring home the bacon? You know, then
Or chicken.
Oh, it should be. But, you know, as far as I'm a very active mom, so it's just not homework. It's homework, school, football, baseball, basketball, it's soccer. My son plays sports year-round. And the reason I do that is because I want to keep him busy, keep him out the way, so to speak. You know, keep his mind occupied, keep him stimulated in sports. So that way, that's an outlet that I use for my son. So that way, I know, and he's older, he'll be 13 soon, so he knows what's going on now. But that's a healthy distraction for him.
Yeah.
So if he's in sports, and if he's in after school, activities, or if he's in Boy Scouts, that's things that's keeping his mind occupied in a positive way.
Yeah.
So that's what I do for my balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you ain't got nothing. Okay.
Well, my balance is totally different. And even with being a single mom and going to work, it's still hard for me to find a balance just to be able to let them do extracurricular activities. With you just having enough family to be able to help you get them to and from school if you need that help. It's a privilege just to have that alone. So sometimes they want to be in the sports, and I have to be the mom that looks at my 12-year-old and say, well, I can't commit to that because I can't get you to practices.
Yeah.
I can't be at your games. I can't put anybody else in that position
gotta
because
put
it's
food
not
on
their
this table too,
responsibility.
yeah.
That's right.
And a lot of times you have to just build some kind of understanding with them so your children understand that sometimes they have to make sacrifices based on the way you're raising them, and it sucks, but that's life.
But I mean, the way that you all handle things, because a lot of messages are sent out without even saying a word.
That's right.
So how you handle that and how you get up and get to work, make their food, go drop them off to the game, tell them, no, I can't do this. You know what I mean? It shows responsibility. It shows time management.
Right.
It gives them those basic things that they need, whether you got a girl or a boy, to handle life, because that's life. They see mom going through life.
Absolutely.
I agree.
By itself. So you get to push through that. Now, my next thing would be, it's a lot of stigmas, when it comes to baby mothers. And we talked about this, and I used that term. Baby mothers is a term that they use, baby mama, right?
Right.
And it's a lot of stigmas that come with that. You thinking of neck rolling and drama and all this good stuff. I asked the ladies in the first one, how do y'all feel about that term baby mama?
It's borderline disrespectful.
Non-existent.
It's not
I don't-
appreciated.
I don't answer to it.
They're not babies anymore.
No.
Right.
And
How can I be a baby mama?
I hear people just say that in conversation, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, his baby mama coming over here, da 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 da. You know, just
toddler's mama.
It's very degrading to me, in my opinion, especially being a black woman. You know what I mean? You don't hear it. You hear it, but it's more common in black.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
hear
what you
whites
think when
and
you hear it.
Asians and Spanish. Oh, baby mama, or Nina Padre. You don't hear that. Nina Madre. You don't hear that. You know what I mean? It's my son's mama, my daughter's mama.
Yeah, you're right.
And when you hear baby mom, you automatically think of a black woman.
Yeah.
And that's very
Yeah.
embarrassing. And it's and I don't appreciate it. So I never refer to myself, nor do I accept the term of using baby mom or baby mom for myself. I have 2 sons. I am someone's son's mother. Son's mothers.
and that's a good thing that you brought up. What are the things that you go through raising boys as a woman? And I know you can too. You've got
I have
girls.
4. I have 4 boys and 1 girl.
Raising boys, because I know at a certain time in life, certain things come up, certain certain things that go on that the mama don't have to deal with, but the boy do. How do you deal with that?
That's the real challenge for me. Certain things we're not going to identify with them because we've never been little boys growing up to be grown men. So when you can't identify with them, the best thing to do, if you have anybody in your repertoire that you can go to, as far as for me, it's my brothers. I have brothers, so I can go to them and say, hey, it's time for you to have that uncle talk with him. I don't understand. I don't even know where to go with this. So it's always good to have some kind of male figure in your life if you have little boys that is positive, where you can have some feedback from them versus you trying to struggle and tell them something and not give it to them.
Right. Because I hear people say that a woman can't raise a man. Is that true?
I personally think that's true.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Okay.
I would not agree. I would not say that a woman can't raise a man, because I've done it and I'm doing it.
I've seen it.
But what I will say is that our boys need their fathers. They need male role models. I can raise and have raised my sons to be the best man I feel they should be.
Right.
But I cannot tell them how to be a man.
Gotcha.
So a man being in our son's life is very important. Whether it is their father, I'm fortunate enough that my son's father is there. We have co-parent. We're co-parenting. Or if it's an uncle or a brother or a cousin or someone, the football coach.
Absolutely.
My boys play football. My boys play football as well. They've all played football. My youngest son right now is 14, and he's playing football. And I don't know how to tie a tie, which is amazing to me. Every time I think about it, I have 4 sons. My youngest, the 14th, and I still don't know how to tie a tie.
You can call me, Tim.
What, I thought about you. I thought about you. I did.
Yeah, I got you
but what I
covered.
did was I told him, I said, here's your tie. We maybe we can YouTube it, or we could
Right,
something.
right.
But I said, ask your coach. Ask your coaches who can tie it. And my son above him said, the coaches used to do it for me all the time.
Awesome.
And so there's men there, but we need our men. We need that male role model.
And what about you?
Well, you can raise a man, but you can't teach him nearly half of the things that they need to hear from a man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be embarrassing conversations about the change of life.
Yeah.
It's going to be conversations where, your son is not going to feel comfortable discussing girls or sex or peer pressure and those type of things. I mean, I have a very open relationship with my son. I'm not his friend, but it's a very open relationship, and he knows our policy. If you tell me the truth, it's all good. But when you start lying, that's when we're going downhill. But there's plenty of things that I know just out of his comfort zone as being a preteen that he don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
So my youngest son's father, even though we're not married, he's been a influence for my older son, as well as my brothers and the coaches, football coaches. I don't know what I would do without him, for my older son. I mean, it comes to the point, they understood and respected the point that I was a hard worker. So they will pick my son up for me, drop him off, wouldn't take a tap of gas money for him. I didn't have it to give him, but I could fix him a warm plate by the time you get off of practice, with all due respect to your wife or girlfriend. I don't have the money.
Right.
But I got a warm plate for you.
I'm sure they appreciate
and absolutely they did. I do a little something in the kitchen. But yeah, so I mean, like you were saying, you don't have the resources or the finances. But sometimes you got to think outside the box. Trust me, I'm one of the most creative moms you'll ever meet.
You got to be resourceful.
You have to be resourceful and creative when you don't have, because you still have to do.
Well, when we come back, I want to talk more about the males of this day and age, okay? And, how y'all deal with them. So y'all don't touch that dial. This is The Veilio Show.
Hi, my name is Danita Hayes, Principal Broker of the Hayes Real Estate Team at HBM2. Looking to buy or sell? We can help. Here at the Hayes Real Estate Team, we work together to make sure you reach all of your home buying and selling goals. We partner with certified credit professionals and preferred lenders to make sure your dreams of homeownership come true. And when you're ready to make that next move, we can get your home sold quickly for you.
Hello, my name is Julian Hubbard, and the Hayes Real Estate Team was awesome. As a first-time homeowners, they helped me buy my first home.
The Hayes Real Estate Team, all we do is make moves for you.
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
All right, welcome back to another week of Your Maximized Life with Lawrence and Tawana Golson as we talk about our 5 minutes of focus. Today we are focused on self-preservation, taking care of you, taking care of yourself. This is where you want to get in touch with your spirit, your soul, and your body. Oftentimes, as you all know by now, I'm a business life coach, and oftentimes as a business owner myself, I find myself neglecting myself, not taking that time just for me, that what I call my tea time, taking my tea time. So I had to incorporate some things that every business owner should incorporate, and that's just time that I take for myself. You could do things like getting a massage is one of my favorite things when it comes to taking care of the body. I preferably like to work out, taking that time to just take care of you inside and out, because you're not going to be any good to anybody on the serious note if you do not preserve yourself. You are the visionary of your business, of your venture, of your relationships, whatever. So you have to make sure that you take care of yourself. And then also taking that time we talked earlier about self-awareness, getting in touch with yourself, getting in tune with yourself. Here you want to take time to get in tune with your spirit. Just taking time and taking a moment, whatever that means for you. It could mean going to yoga class. It could mean just taking a time of meditation. It could mean just sitting in quietness. Whatever it is, just take care of your spirit. What I do, I like to read. I like to go to yoga. I like to get in quietness. I like to just be by myself sometimes, just to take care of my spirit. And then also doing things to stimulate your mind. Sometimes you have to get away from your everyday. And I do that through books. So what we want to do is just encourage you to do whatever it takes for you to get to that place where you're preserving yourself. What do you think, Lawrence?
I agree. Preserving yourself means just that. Remember that you are your billboard for whatever it is that you're doing. So you have to make sure that your presentation is what you want to put out there into the atmosphere, into the elements. So you have to take care of yourself, and do not be afraid to try something brand new that you've never exposed yourself to before when it comes to taking care of yourself or preserving yourself. What that does is several things for you, but the most important thing it does is centers you. It keeps you centered so that you won't go too far to the left or too far to the right. You won't get caught up into the mundane or in the minute details to make your venture a success. You have to be able to say, this is my me time. This is when I do me. Whatever it is, it may start out as something that you just do for 5 minutes every day, or maybe every 3 weeks you do something that's specifically for you. It's important. It's vital to your health, to your success, to your longevity, and to your relationships that you do self-preservation techniques. You have to define what that looks like for you, because it's the most important part of your self-inventory.
One of the things that I enjoy that we do, every quarter, we take time and we get away.
We get away.
We run away from all of it, because being business owners ourselves, sometimes it's difficult to get out of the business even when you're at home. You know, we're always thinking about our businesses. It's on our mind all the time. New ideas are always coming. So we have to, on purpose, set up time just to get away.
Yeah, so pay attention to your processes. I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said. Pay attention to your processes. Don't compare yourself to your progress, but to the process. The process is where you are learning and you're earning everything that you're believing for. But so it's vital that you take care of yourself so that you can enjoy that. You don't want to do all of this for nothing. You want to enjoy the journey, and you want to demonstrate that you're enjoying that journey to other people so they can be motivated by your experiences, so they can be inspired by your story, and so they can live in their truth just like you are.
Exactly. Thank you again for tuning in to 5 Minutes of Focus.
The life maximized.
Let's do business.
Let's do business.
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
Live life well at the Myrtles at Old Town. Our spacious apartment homes offer luxury amenities with security access entry. Select homes offer washer and dryer, vaulted ceilings, private balcony or patio, and yes, we are pet friendly. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will gladly walk you step by step through the process of finding a home that fits you perfectly. No matter the size, 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms, we can accommodate your needs. And while you stroll the property, stop by the clubhouse, where you'll have full access to the movie room, the workout room, the computer room, and much, much more. So whether you like the towers or our garden style, when you see what we have to offer, you'll want to make the Myrtles at Old Town your new home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the video show, and I'm still here with these strong single mothers. Now, I guess when we left off, we was talking about the men of today. How's dating for y'all? Like,
what is that?
I
don't understand the question.
Meeting guys, you know, is this harder?
Very hard. You barely have enough time for you and the things you want to take care of and your kids. So incorporating dating into that when you're not ready to just meet a guy initially have them around your kids,
Yeah,
and something is wrong with you, you got to figure out how to transition. Like, I've just tried to figure out how to go out on a date with a guy before. Like, well, if kids are in bed by 8, that means I got to be in bed by 9 or 10. I got to be to work at 6 in the morning. So, like, where you come in at, then a lot of guys feel like if you go out at nighttime with them, you're due for some nighttime activity. And that's not, you don't get a fair chance at learning a guy before it's, oh, what do you have to offer?
Right.
Kinda.
I got you.
Yeah. My children come first.
Yeah.
And they always will. And it takes a long time before I would be ready to introduce them. I don't know if I like you or not. If we're, let me get to know you, and if you're going to be around longer, I don't feel like I need to someone that I may date, and then may not work out. Maybe in a couple of weeks, not see them. My children don't need to see that. They don't need to see men, in and out. And right now, it's hard to find time to do that. Work, home, sports, and doing that, and I need to make sure that if someone does come in, the right one is coming in. So right now it's non-existent.
Because you got guys watching, they may be like,
well, we're doing screening sessions.
Right. Well, I mean, I have children, and I have, people like, hey, can you do such? Hey, I have a football game tonight. I have a football game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then when they get mad at you, they get frustrated.
Right, exactly.
You have a life.
Right, like I'm pushing them off. Like maybe I'm making excuses.
Right.
But no, I have a real life. So I don't know. Now, if you're staying around, and if we see, then that would be that would determine what would go from there. But
you got to be able to hold in there, hang in there.
Right. And if not, well, then that's why you didn't meet your children, because you weren't supposed to be there.
That's right. Same here, dating, and I'm speaking previously. Dating, I think, actually being a single mom kind of sharpened me up, because I have zero tolerance for any BS. I don't know if I can say that, but zero tolerance.
BS works.
Pretty much you gotta have your ducks in a row. Because the everyday struggles and pressures of a single mom, do you really think I have an iota of patience or anything for something from an outside person?
Yeah.
Because me and my kids, we already have our fort.
Right.
We have our situation already under control. We're marching to one drum. We're on one accord. So in order for you to march to our tune, you got to be all the way together. I'm not saying you have to have the most financially. You have to be, some Greek Adonis. It's not even about that. But if you can fit into our world and be genuine about it, then that's what it is. But so basically, like I said, and the whole purpose of the topic, a single mom is one of the hardest jobs that you'll ever have. So to let, and sort of speak, another position, come and try to fulfill a role, you got to make sure that they got the right resume.
Right.
Pretty much.
You got to be ready for what's coming.
Ready.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're going to go a little deeper right here, okay? I want to talk about, I'm going to start it out like this. And we talked about this off camera. There's separate truths. People see things differently. Like if you talk to me and you may talk to the mother of my child, we may see a situation a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So everybody got their own truths, and some people are stuck in that. They ain't even trying to hear what you're talking about. So in saying that, when it comes to the father of your children and yourself and the kids, how do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with, you see things this way, he sees it that way, and where do we go from here?
Number one is to try to find a meeting ground that you all both can agree. If that's impossible and it leads to conflict, I would suggest to not have it around the kids. They don't need to see that. That's not a healthy environment for them to be in, or to see you all constantly being in, because they pay attention to that and that affects them. So it's pretty much about finding a meeting, and two grown individuals should be able to come to a meeting, no matter if you disagree, you agree to disagree. It still should be some kind of meeting. If it's an importance of the child, it should only matter of the importance of the child. That's it. It shouldn't be, I feel this way about you, and I'm not going to agree to this because I'm holding some type of bitterness. It shouldn't be about that. It's about that child, whether we're together or not together. That child is the only main importance.
Now, I hear a lot of stories about people who still stuck in, the relationship side of things and holding on to, and some people using pawn games with the kids. Like you say, people play those games.
And that's
so
dangerous.
That is dangerous. But you hear about it a lot of times, you hear, I don't know if it's because even the men, and it's just not the women.
Oh, absolutely.
The men even do it. You know, you the father, you the daughter. I mean, you have my children, so I may feel like I'm still privy to having some sex or whatever.
Control.
Right. So these things cause conflict. How do y'all deal with that type of stuff? Have you ran into anything like that or heard of it?
Yes.
Because I've heard plenty.
Yeah, on a regular basis. And like you just hit on a very key point. Women are not the only ones that use, the children as the pawns. Because honestly, in my opinion, no attack to the men, but sometimes you catch a man with a bruised ego, they're worse than the worst scorned woman you ever come across. So you have to be really, really careful. And then when kids are involved, you can't straddle the fence. Either you're going to stay together and work it out for the kids, and you know what you're dealing with, you're going to work it out and try to sustain a family, or you're not.
Right.
But just because a lot of people, and I'm so glad we're talking about this. A pet peeve of mine is to hear, especially if you're not even, if you're not married yet. Of course, marriage is the ideal, the key.
Yeah.
Marriage, and we raise a family together. But even with married couples, I hate for people to say they're staying together for the kids. And it may sound like, well, what do you mean? If you're going to stay together for anything, shouldn't you do it for the kids? But do you know how toxic that can be?
Yeah. And for the kids to witness.
Oh, wow. Because you're not showing the normal functionality of a family.
Right.
I hate you, you hate me. We're pretty much roommates, under the same roof. But we're just doing it just, for the people.
Yeah.
Or to the world, oh, we're still together.
Yeah.
Or we're still happy behind closed door. You hate each other.
Right.
And the kids feel that. And you're not giving them a real, authentic, genuine, feel of what a family, how a family should be run. Right. Now, everything's not going to be perfect. Right. But you have to do like your mom and grandpa, and grandma used to do back in the day. You don't discuss that in front of the kids. You take them to that back room, and you go to the back room, and you discuss whatever the problem is. So don't use the kids as a reason to stay together. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, and it may sound cliche, but it has to be a lot more than it has to be love, partnership, effort on both ends.
Right.
But don't ever do that because you're actually hurting the kids more than you're helping.
Because again, you are the blueprint to what those kids think life is.
That's
and if that's what the picture of life you're giving them,
that's
you're kind of giving them a skewed look at
Absolutely.
it.
Children are like sponges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They absorb everything that they see.
You ain't even got to say nothing.
Right.
That's
and,
right.
and then they're going to grow and they're going to have the same relationship.
Absolutely.
They're
Fighting
going to
your
stay
father's
because,
demons.
right, because that's what they've seen and that's what's normal. The best thing would be to separate, try to get along, co-parent. I'm not saying that anybody should, choose to be a single mother or single father, but you have to look at it, what's best. If we're going to stay together, it can't be just for the children.
That's right.
It has to be for something else. We're going to teach them that. We teach them that way, and we want to give the right message.
We give the kids, we tell our children what normal is.
That's right.
We how we live, how we operate is a silent message to your kids of what normal is.
Absolutely.
So that brings me to my next question. How does this impact the children with the father not being around, or does it?
In a major way.
Elaborate, please, Michelle.
Personally, I've dealt with my son lashing out in school where they feel like he's having an anger issue. He's done several things where I feel like the biggest thing for him is, if I get on my mom's nerve enough, she'll say, hey, go stay with your dad, because they see that on TV. Oh, you're going to your dad's house because you don't know how to act. He doesn't have that option per se to me. No matter how much he lashes out, they're just bringing more turmoil on the person that's struggling every day to make sure that you are okay. And they don't realize, because their only thing is, I've been introduced to this man. Like when they play the hopping game, I really don't like that, because dads are, either you're going to be there or you're not. But when you play that hopping game, you keep teasing them. So it's like they keep wanting to be a part of your life, and they keep doing things to try to get your attention. Even if they start doing it in a good manner, it's something positive. It's just like they keep lashing out for their attention. So it's a constant thing. And dealing with it as a mother, when you have enough on your plate as it is, that's extra. And it's a lot. But you have to understand that your child is hurting for something, and it may not be something that you can give them, but you got to figure out what you can do to try and make the situation better, because otherwise it's just constant turmoil. And that's a negative, and that's just negative energy that you're allowing to be in your household. You got to figure out a way to they have to understand at some point, and it's not easy. I'm still struggling with it, to be honest, but it's just a constant thing, but it does affect them in a major way.
You know what bothers me about that, if I may? It's funny because you would think, and I'm speaking on my oldest son's father, you would think that a man that wasn't raised by his family, that was a victim of foster care, he was on his own since he was 13 years old. He's from Brooklyn, New York, so he's sleeping on park benches, doing whatever he had to do to survive. So some men don't actually have the tools, to be a father. But that's not an excuse.
For time.
Because wouldn't you want to give your son all that you missed?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to make him a better man?
You know what
I
it
mean,
feels
even if
like
you don't know the
firsthand.
tools, you just know how it feels to be unloved and not to have someone there.
Yeah.
So why do that to your flesh of your flesh? I don't understand that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And it's like it's like, really? I mean, you would think that a man who didn't have that would not want the child to go through that, the same thing or go down that same path.
Yeah.
Especially if that's the root of the problem that made, that enabled you to be the man that you are today.
Yeah.
Not in a positive sense.
You would think that's good, but that goes back to children are sponges.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah,
even though he went through that, and you would think that he would want something different, but that's all he knew.
That's
what
normal for him.
Right, that's normal. So not saying that it's right or not, but that's
It's
normal.
a cycle that's
Somebody got to break the
continuing.
cycle,
Right.
and that makes our job harder because your job as a mom of raising kids like that is to make sure that you raise a child that grows up to be a man that does not do that because of that situation. So,
But then again, I'm sorry to to ping pong, and maybe because it's more personal to me. But that's still a crock of what.
It
because
is.
if you can devote all your energy to bettering yourself, as far as you're going to school now, or you're trying to take up a career now.
So you found yourself some
So
better
you found
values.
yourself. You didn't say find your son.
that's even time.
So, and no shade, but I'm being
Right.
honest.
No, I got you.
Some men who are not still in their kids' lives,
Yeah.
and now I'm not defending the man, but I'm being honest. I'm a realist before anything else. Some men feel like if they can't provide financially, then they don't want to be around. They are embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's a pride thing.
That's true.
Especially, when you were dating at the beginning, or like in my case, I was 20 years old when I had my older son. My son's father was, he was older. So, he was a man.
He had
you know what I mean?
it, yeah.
He had the whole situation. So when he went on a vacay and came back, the world had changed.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that college girl that you met back then. I'm
Right.
a grown woman, almost 30, holding down my own household,
Right.
taking care of my own
And
business.
you trying to get yourself
and always
back
had
on.
2 jobs. So if I felt like if I was a young, scared college girl and I was able to come to grips with being a mom, then it's time for you to strap your boots up and be a man and take care of your seed. I'm not asking for you to do me a favor. That's not, you're not doing me a favor just because you come around.
You're
every
doing
couple
what
weeks.
you're supposed to
You're
do.
doing what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Let me ask y'all this because we're going to get ready to wrap up.
I'm
Do you
sorry.
feel like, no, you're good. Do you feel like the man should do outside of the child support, do above the child support, or the child support and you good, handle your business? Do you feel like he should do?
I'm sorry to butt in first.
No,
but
please.
I'll answer that with a question to an extent. With what we give them children, are we allowed to not do extra because we take care of them financially? Like, so what you pay, whatever, X amount of dollars in child support a month, that's still your child. Come pick him up, spend time with him while he's with you, buy food. Hey, if you want me to give you $5 a bounce of food, whatever, spend some time with
is
him.
your thing.
Take him
Okay.
somewhere and do something with him because child support is not financial. Child support is not child support. To support your child, you have to physically be there.
Yeah.
I can get a check every month. What is that? Hey, here's the little car right here. Here's your
Yeah.
daddy. That's not your daddy. So
Right.
that's all you can identify with is supporting your child, and that's no support. You can have that. I'd rather have the time. Point blank. Period.
Gosh, your matter. Well, who's
honestly,
next?
Wow. And child support, to all the mothers who get child support, you're supposed to, because if you can't make them do it, or if they don't have a moral sense of obligation or a legal sense of responsibility to take care of your child, then unfortunately, you got to make them make you do it. Then you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Now, already I'm a statistic because I'm a black woman and I have kids out of wedlock. That's one. But it's, to me, and it's something that may change, so I'm not downing anyone that has child support, but to me, it's not degrading, but it makes me feel a certain kind of way to have to go and report my business to a government to make someone take care of my son. I feel like, why do I have to go and report to these people and let them know our most intimate personal situations?
Because you won't do what you
for
supposed
them
to
to
do,
make
huh?
you take care of your child. Then it makes me, okay, well, if they make you pay child support, that's going to entitle you to visitation. And do I really want you to visit my son if that's not where your heart of hearts are? Or are these people making you visit my son, so are you going to give him a cold, distant demeanor because you're being forced to visit him?
Right.
Because if it wasn't for the child support in place, there would be no visitation in place.
Right.
So that scares me, because sometimes you deal with men just like women who are very spiteful. So they become angry now that they got to pay child support. And I just don't want the drama. I'd rather work 3 jobs and do whatever I got to do to make sure my kids are good, because I don't want someone playing games with my kids. You can play games with anything else, but not with my kids.
I can respect that.
I'm scared, in a sense, for child support. I'd rather work 2 jobs and do what I got to do, and a hustle and a bartend and a consultant and do whatever I got to do to make ends meet. But I don't want to go and get child support because I don't want you to be vindictive and, well, I'm coming to get them on Christmas. Well, I'm coming to get them on Thanksgiving.
Those things
Because
happen.
that's my time.
Yeah.
This all he knows. So it's about I'm protecting my son. I don't want you to get with your dad with people that you really don't know like that, even though they're family, and you got to spend Christmas with a person that you really don't know.
Yeah.
You're my child. So it's a lot of different angles, and I meant to, sorry to get too deep, but
no, handle your business. That's what we're here for. It's a talk
I won't
show.
go to child support sooner or later, but right now I'm on chill.
I do receive child support, and my younger two children, and their father does come see them. He's not always gone. We do our best to work together as parents. I do ask or have asked for something outside of the child support. If they go to the movies, if they, do I give you part of that money to go take them to the movies or to get something to eat? That's something that would come out of his pocket. My job, if I have a paycheck and I'm working this, and if I have a certain amount allotted for that, if I go outside of that, I don't have anything saying that I have to just pay this on the child on my child. So I have asked for extra. Right now you're at the point where you don't want to ask for it. I feel, you're in a state where, in a situation where you don't have to. I think that's great.
I don't have to. Trust me, it's very hard.
In your situation, you're concerned about him asking for visitations. In mine, my kids are able to go with him. We decide, if he's going to be, they're going to be with you for Christmas or for not. I feel like they're entitled to that. They need your support. They financially and for you to be here. In my situation, he is there. Not always, not as much. There's been times where my daughter's on the couch crying because he didn't come pick her up. So that does happen as well. But I feel like this is for them. This is to help them. I didn't make these babies by myself.
I can dig it. And as a man, we should be okay with taking care. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
You shouldn't have to be forced to do it.
Right.
Absolutely. We should,
this is my thing, and we're going to wrap on up. How has being a single mother changed you?
If I may say, if I could do it all over again and say, no, you wait for Prince Charming and you do it the right way, and you get married and you take your vows, of course that would be the ideal way. And young women, follow the Bible. It's not written in void. Trust me, if you do it the right way under him, your blessings is going to go smooth like it's supposed to. But for me, I wouldn't change a thing. Because if it wasn't for me going through that struggle, going through that storm, going through that that war, I wouldn't be the soldier that I am now. I mean, I may not be dad, but I'm a role model in my kids' eyes. And their eyes, I'm super mommy. They love what I do, and that's the greatest reward of it all.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything because it given me a certain level of edge as a parent. Just as a woman, I expect so much more. I want to do so much more. I demand so much more just because of the pressure that I've been under. So I know how to handle pressure now. So if I think if I can handle being a single mom to two boys, what you got? Throw it to me. I'm going to handle it. You know what I mean? Everything else is like...
They say pressure either bust pipes or it make diamonds.
Absolutely. Well said.
I think it's changed me for the better. I think a better woman, a better friend. I think it's changed me for the better. I wouldn't change being their mother. I did have my first son young, very young. I maybe would have waited a little bit longer because now I'm here at this age looking back. I should have waited. I should have waited. I would want the same son, the same daughter, just a little bit later, but they've changed me for the better.
I think he played out like it's supposed to.
Right.
Well, everybody has their own story. I feel like being a single mother has definitely given me more strength, courage, and wisdom overall in every aspect of life itself. And I guess it's a fruitful, rewarding job at some point. No matter how old our kids are now, they're going to grow up. They're going to be adults one day, and we'll get to reap what we've planted. So I just look forward to the greater days.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. Hold on. They're coming.
All this is past stuff, but trust me, just from back then, speaking of my first son, with my second son, it's a whole other situation. It's a whole other situation. As long as you stay prayerful, I promise you, everything's going to come in place.
Hold on.
Stay prayed up.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate y'all coming and sharing your testimony. And I appreciate y'all for watching. This is the video show. This was a walk in their shoes. And we'll holler at you next episode.
Someone once said, getting there is half the fun. From downtown to Old Town, Go Pass 365 connects you to entertainment, restaurants, friends. Go Pass 365. Find out more at gopass365.com.
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
Hampton Roads, I want to welcome you to another edition of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Bert Bergen, and today we are at Upper Echelon, the Salon, and with me is the owner, founder, and brainchild of Upper Echelon, the Salon, Carlos. Carlos, welcome to the show.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing just fine. How about you?
I'm glad you're here. I'm doing good.
Good. Tell Hampton Roads, what was your motivation for opening Upper Echelon?
My motivation was basically any other dream like anybody has, to be your own boss, to start your own brand so you can inspire people. Encouragement is our mission.
What were some of the obstacles? Let's say someone else wanted to start a business such as Upper Echelon. What were some of the obstacles and roadblocks that you had to overcome to get to this point?
The only obstacle is yourself.
Awesome.
You stop yourself from achieving any goal that you want to accomplish, because your thought process is what dictates your direction, so to speak. A rapper makes a mixtape.
Okay.
A football player, they go to practice.
Right.
You want a barbershop, you cut hair, you go to school, you save your money.
Awesome.
You could do it.
Awesome. So do you have any opportunities for barbers and stylists to join your team and be a part of such a fine establishment?
Yes, sir. Right now we're looking for stylists, makeup artists, braiders, barbers, teachers, anything related to this industry. We're looking for you. Family atmosphere, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. We're at 211 Providence Road, Suite 4 in the Holly Point Shopping Center, Chesapeake, Virginia, 23325.
If you're trying to figure out what is Mind Your Business about, this is what we're about. We're about getting out there in the community, finding the businesses that make this community special, and giving them the awareness that they need to be successful. Please make it your business.
My advice to single mothers is to pretty much just stay focused. It's about perseverance. You're going to go through a lot raising children by yourself because it's a very unique job. It's not a job that you get a pamper.
We don't get the same treatment that single fathers get, or fathers having kids out of wedlock. Sometimes it's actually a notch on the belt, and that's kind of crazy still, but don't cast us to the side.
Another thing with being judges, I have 5 children.
Okay.
And they don't all have the same father.
Okay.
So when people see that, or they hear about that, or if I'm in a public setting and they're talking about mothers and she has a few fathers, or I feel sometimes when I say that, right, people judge me for that. And it's the same thing like you said, get to know me. If you want to ask a question, ask the question.
Right.
My first 2 children have the same father, and our relationship, unfortunately didn't work out.
Right.
I was with him for 6 years. We
Right.
had a relationship. It wasn't that, we just met, had babies, and that was it.
Right.
My second son, I was in a relationship with his father for 8 years.
Right.
So we had a relationship. My last 2 children, I married their father.
That's
we were
right.
married, and we were together for 10 years.
Right.
So it's not, always what you think. It's
Right.
not always, I met somebody and had babies and decided to keep having babies. I was in relationships with these men.
Right.
I expected when I was with them to live happily ever after.
Of course.
I didn't expect we're going to be together for all these years, have these babies, and things would end.
Right.
I come across that. A lot of people judge that. I have 5 children. They're very well taken care of.
That's right.
None of them have wanted for anything.
That's right.
Maybe the latest Jordans.
Right.
They had shoes, and their shoes were
probably
clean
wouldn't even know they had a single parent. It'll appear that they're in a
Exactly.
2-parent household. Same thing with my mom.
Exactly. And there were times, and I have to say, there were times that their father and I were together. So we were together at one time. Then I became a single parent, and then was in a relationship and became a single parent again. At the end, right now, I'm a single mother again.
Right.
But they're very well taken care of. They my oldest 3 have graduated high school.
Right.
They didn't have children until they were out of high school. I have 1 grandchild, and that's from my oldest child. So
wow.
I would say just if you want to know something, ask a question.
Absolutely.
Don't judge. You don't know the situation. You
Absolutely.
don't know the kind of woman I am.
Right.
So I would say ask questions and get to know somebody before you
make an assumption.
So much easier to judge somebody than to find out what their situation is. That's why a lot of people judge. So at the end of the day, I look at those people as you don't have a heaven or hell to put me in, so
Absolutely.
you have no right to pass judgment against me. No matter what situation I'm in, whether I'm a single mother or anything else, you can find all kinds of reasons to pass judgment.
Right.
So it is what it is. You have to look at those people as closed-minded people and try not to let it affect you.
Absolutely.
But no matter where you go or what you're doing 9 times out of 10 as a single parent or just having your kids by yourself singly without the father being there, you're gonna be judged. But I'm one of those single mamas, and I am a single mother. I walk with my 2 kids in my head as high as I can get it, because at the end of the day, you look at me being a single mother, but you look at my kids, they look kept, they look healthy, they look fed.
Right.
And that's what it's about to me. It's about the reflection, because they are a reflection of you. So as long as my kids look good, no matter what you look at me and say, I'll have on some $5 pants and some $2 scrubs.
That's right.
But those kids are priority. So
That's right.
as a single mother, this is what I sacrifice and how I sacrifice to make sure these 2 little individuals are taken care of. That
That's
this has
right.
to be here.
That's
so
right.
continue to pass judgment, and God bless you.
Good God, great Father gave me the experience that I never had at all from my first son's father, as far as being there with me through the pregnancy, in the delivery room, at the baby shower, being active in our son's life now as far as daycare, picking him up. Very, very, very good co-parenting. And being that we've had to space apart, maybe our family can become cohesive again. So that's the goal, that's the aim. So that wasn't referred to you, that was referred to number 1.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I had a relationship that hit rock bottom at some point, and I got into another relationship that hit rock bottom at some point. But that's nothing I asked for. It's nothing I would take back, because again, what we've been through is what made us who we are now. So
Absolutely.
I wouldn't take anything back from my experience. And the advice I would give to anybody else that's even pregnant, going through it, or whatever the situation may be, is you have to stay focused. You have to figure out what's more important to you. You have to continue to pray, and you have to trust the process, because everybody has a story and it's a process. It's up to you what your determination in the end becomes. So the rhythm of what you want your situation to be is the energy that you attract for yourself. No matter what you're going through, you can always think positive. It's free.